What's going on YouTube? This is a bit of a twist on the channel. This is something which I'm going to be talking about. FC Barcelona's preview against Granada. They'll be in the Copa del Rey quarterfinals. Let's see how this clash goes. At the start of the season, Barcelona looked to be calamitous. It looked like nothing was going to go their way. We look like a team with no hope, a team with no future. We look like, where is this going to go? Bartomeu finally resigned. Finally, the club can move forward. We've got the elections coming. God knows when that'll happen, but we're looking forward to it. Let's get right into the Copa del Rey quarterfinals, where we look at Granada take on FC Barcelona. Will Barcelona lose? Will Barcelona be knocked out? This is the question. We've seen Real Madrid. We've seen what happened to them. They were knocked out by a third division team. We can take revenge. We can win a trophy in one of our worst seasons in La Liga. Come on, Barcelona. Do not let me down on this one. Let's get right into the squad list. Let me get this up. This is from Barcelona's official Twitter. As we can see, we've got the squad list right here. We can see we've got Ter Stegen available. Sergio Dest makes his return to the squad. We've got Araujo. We've got Busquets, Griezmann, Pjanic, Braithwaite, Messi, Dembele, Puig. Don't know why he's there. He never gets a start under Koeman. No matter what the man does, he just cannot get into the team. But we hope to see him today. We've got Neto, Longley, Pedri, Trincao, Jordi Alba, Sergio Roberto, Frankie de Jong, Umtiti, Mingueza, and Tenez. What will this 11 be? I am going to get into that. I'm going to get into my predicted 11. Thank God Barcelona have picked up some form. Let me go see what their previous matches have been, and we can see how we look going into this game. As we can see, obviously, in the Copa del Rey, we did beat them 2-0. We beat Cornella, which, again, we should have expected, but we had to take that into extra time to beat them with some wonderful goals from Dembele to bring us back into it. Then we played Elche, who we beat 2-0, convincing win. Real Vallecano in the round of 16, we beat them 2-1. We beat Atletico Bilbao 2-1. What a game that was. We looked like we could have lost that. Anytime our heads could have gone down, but it didn't. Now it's the big game, the quarterfinal against Granada tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the UK. It'll be a 9 o'clock kickoff for the Spanish locals. This is a game you do not want to be missing. Now let's get into my predicted 11. Who do I think is going to go in net? Well, I think in net, of course, it's going to be the one and only Neto. Then we get into the centre-back pairing. I do think we're going to play the 4-3-3 with the CDM and the holding, and I think Busquets will be going right into that position. But as our centre-backs, when we look at who's available, we've got Araujo, we've got Mingueza who can play there, we have got Longley back, we have got Umtiti who can play. He needs some minutes under his belt. Longley hasn't had the best of season. He's been a bit calamitous in defence, but that won't last long. He will be back. Getting into the centre-back pairings, who I think will be in there is Araujo. I can get him up. Let's just filter the teams to Barcelona. Position is centre-back. Let's get Umtiti into the squad. Then we're looking at, I think we may end up giving Longley a few minutes in there. I think he'll end up playing. So obviously we will have a few rotations. We will see a few new names that we probably weren't used to seeing. Now, this is where the question comes into right back. Will Dest make his return, or will it be Mingueza, who's been absolutely on form since he's come into the team from Barcelona B? Let's see who I pick, because I think Sergio Dest will make his return. As it is a cup game, he can get himself some minutes. He can get match fit, and he could possibly make his return, because I felt he was absolutely superb, even when Barcelona was struggling. When we get into the left back position now, this is something which, it's quite an obvious one. We're probably going to be playing Jordi Alba. Now, he's been hit and miss this season. He hasn't had the best of starts to the season. He hasn't been the same Alba that we've seen for the time to come. Then we come into the coveted CDM position. Now we can have, from the list of names who we've got here, we could be playing, Pjanic here. We could be playing Sergi Busquets. We could even be putting Sergio Roberto in there. He could actually come back and return into that right back position, but I do think it might be a little bit too early, and I don't think this is the right game to play him in. Given the two that can play that position quite well and probably are going to play it, I do think it's going to be Sergio Busquets playing in the CDM position, because he's our best CDM. He's the one who makes the team tick in that midfield. He hasn't had the best of seasons, but he will come back, and I do think he's making a return. Now, who do we have in the others? We have, how do you spell his name now? Pjanic. No, we will have Pjanic in that position. Cross him. This is who I would like to see. But will it happen? Well, only time will tell. I don't think Coleman would ever start him. I think he's probably going to be putting Pedri there, or even Trincao, possibly. I do want to see Puig be given minutes. I do want to see what he's all about, and whether Coleman is right that he's not ready for the team. These are the positions which, to be honest, they make themselves up, don't they? The only one is the striker position, who it could be Griezmann or it could be Brathwaite. Now, who plays in that middle? I think he will be putting in, just to give Griezmann a rest, just to give him a little bit of rotation into the cup. And then we move on to, obviously, the right wing, which there's only one man who's made the return, who's come back to haunt his rivals, to make sure they know he's there, with that banging free kick against Athletic Bilbao. A beautiful goal. What defenders can't do against him. They can't do anything. He's unstoppable. Then the left wing position, the man who's taken this position to be his own, Ousmane Dembele. He is the one who's going to be playing in that position. In my opinion, this will be the 11 I want to see against Granada. Now, when we move into, obviously, looking at some of the returns that we've got Sergio Dest, Sergio Roberto making a return. Obviously, we have got De Jong, who can play into that midfield, but personally, I want to see him get a rest and coming back into the league. Now, when we look at Barcelona this season, it's been such an up and down season for them. They haven't looked great. They've picked up some form recently. Messi wants to play football. And when Messi's in the mood, Messi's going to do his thing. He is not going to let anyone come in his way and stop him from playing football. Come on, Barcelona. Do not let me down. We've got to win this. We've got to show Madrid who's the boss still. We might be 10 points away from Atletico Madrid, but we still have to win silverware. That's the Barcelona philosophy. That's the DNA we are. We are the winners. We have got a winning DNA. Come on. This wraps up my preview for the game. If you like, share, subscribe, and comment on the video of your thoughts about how Barcelona are going to do. And share your opinions. My Twitter will be in the link in the description. You can always have a conversation with me. I have two loves, Arsenal and Barcelona. Yes, it doesn't make sense. Yes, there's a lot of people who are going to slate that, but I'm a man of football. I love football. I'm a fan of football. And Barcelona and Arsenal, the ones who, for me, played the most beautiful, most intricate football that I just absolutely have all the time in the world to watch. If you love this, if you want to see more, please subscribe, like, and share. And this is Gunnar Souls signing out.